It said 0 seconds. It said 0 seconds before start, like for 8 seconds. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to the HalfGen podcast. I'm Commander Shepard.
I didn't know what happened because I was looking at my other monitor and I was like, why does Chris sound so shitty all of a sudden?
Yep, that's why. Chris got his helmet in the mail.
See, Nat wasn't expecting that. For the audio listeners, I have a Commander Shepard helmet.
I half expected you to pull the stupid blade thing out.
I ordered that too. That's in like they're trying to sell 3,000 so they could buy it. Before I did it with the Infinity Gauntlet on. That was pretty cool. But yeah, we opened the Mass Effect Legendary Cache is what it's called earlier on the stream. That was cool. It came with a wearable Commander Shepard helmet with lights and stuff, so you could be Paragon or a Renegade.
Oh my god, Chris!
What?
The Mass Effect helmet with the Infinity Gauntlet and the dubstep gun.
I know where the dubstep gun is.
Good.
And then the Infinity Gauntlet on the other hand, I put because the thing gun's on the right hand.
Yep.
Flip that out because it's gonna light up.
Oh, yeah.
Flip that out. Infinity Gauntlet, dubstep gun. I'm Commander Shepard.
It's just one big meme. Yeah.
Just a walking, talking meme. Just play the Halo theme in the background. Just for no reason.
I might have to leave the podcast if you do that. That would be too cringe for me to bear.
Why does it? It looks like my audio's not recording for some reason.
On my end, you have lots of spikes. I could text you a picture. It shows.
Okay, it just looks like my no. That's fine. It just looks like my bar's not moving, but maybe it is. Worst case, we pull it from the. Okay, good. Yeah. Worst case, we pull it from the video. It looked weird.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's moving. Okay, I don't know what was going on. Sorry, I panicked for a second. I was like, I just want to see what's going on.
This is the HalfGen podcast.
It wouldn't be a HalfGen podcast if something didn't go wrong.
I know I said that outfit would be cringy, but I didn't mean it to hurt that bad. Like it was supposed to be tongue in cheek and like
he's saying it. I'm just like looking at it intensely.
You just went into like you just went into like the Frozone just now. You said.
I'm like
I was
trying
gonna
to
say
carry
Twilight
the one,
Zone, but the Frozone is the only zone I
Where is my super suit? Yeah, lots to talk about this week. This week, we normally, one of our objectives, as we've said before, is not to be too newsy. In the last couple weeks, I realized I pulled a lot of stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm getting too newsy. So this week, I had every intention of pulling that back. And then a lot of important shit happened this week that we should probably talk about. So that's what we're going to do. Starting with kind of, in my opinion, some of the biggest news of the week. Vinny Caravella, Alex Navarro, and Brad Shoemaker are all leaving Giant Bomb as of Friday, which is not an insignificant thing because like I'm still trying to those are three effectively like less so Alex, he came a little later, but like three very important, not founding members, but as close as big as you can get without being a founding member.
I mean Brad and Vinny really were, it was really the four of them, Brad, Vinny, Jeff and Ryan at the beginning. So
yeah, because I know it was Jeff and Ryan at first, then Brad and Vinny came on shortly after. Mm-hmm. I think like after they had already became Giant Bomb, they once I think their contracts ended with GameSpot.
Right.
But yeah, they like there's a clip. They started this week's Bombcast, and they it was just Vinny saying I'm leaving as of Friday, and Alex also saying I am also leaving, and then Brad, the host of the podcast, just being like I am also leaving, and there are too many questions that we don't have answers for right now. And it all circles back to Giant Bomb's acquisition by Red Ventures. That feels like probably a catalyst for a lot of what's happening here. I think Ross, you'd probably agree with that.
Yeah, and that kind of seems to be the consensus online as of right now. Jeff Gersman is staying with the site, as well as Jeff Bakalar. So yeah, I mean,
Well, Jeff Bakalar he got shifted because he was CNET, and now he's in
yeah,
charge, I think, of video production for
he's like
GameSpot and Giant Bomb.
he's like con
Content,
not
that's what it is.
content not
director
director.
sounds right.
Yeah, so, yeah, that might be right. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, as of right now, it's just all that remains are Jeff, Jan Ochoa, Jeff, and
Jason A.
Jason
Stryker.
A. Stryker. Yeah. So yeah, I caught a couple of clips from the Bombcast. Jeff basically saying that this has kind of been in the works for a while at this point, and that they're going to take the next week or so to kind of figure out what they want Giant Bomb to be moving forward, and kind of the content that'll be on the site, and kind of figure things out, because it's huge. They pioneered, basically, Giant Bomb pioneered the personality driven video game like website.
It is not, and it is not like a stretch to say that a lot of what we're trying to accomplish, to a much lesser degree compared to Giant Bomb, but a lot of what we're trying to accomplish here is based on the work they've done, and that's the stuff we're trying to do, is try and, let our personalities do the talking, not just, be straight faced, by the, color by numbers video game site. That was one of the big things when Ross and I started all this, was like, yo, we got to, like, something written by Ross, you should be able to read it and be like, that was definitely by Ross. You shouldn't have to look at who the author is. You just know that's Ross. And if I write something, that's me,
Yeah,
like it should be.
And
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, and like without Giant Bomb today, you might not have Kind of Funny, you might not have Min-Max, you might not have What's Good Games. Like, all this entire style can be traced back to when they started this site in 2008. So yeah, end of an era for sure. So
it's going to be crazy. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see what that site becomes. I wonder if Jeff is staying due to, like, obligations of, like, hey, we need you to sign this deal saying you're not going to leave. And I wonder if, because remember, when they signed the deal, Abby left immediately.
Yeah.
And then Ben left a few months later. So the writing has kind of been on the wall for them. And I want to know what the hell Red Ventures is doing, because this doesn't, I don't feel like any of them have, like, lost the passion for what they do. For all of them to leave simultaneously, these three, like, figureheads of Giant Bomb, something, and with Brad and Vinny, excuse me, Alex and Vinny, I kind of get it, because Giant Bomb East is wiped, with the exception of Jeff Bakalar. Giant Bomb East, there's not really anybody left there except for them. Yeah, but then when Brad said he was leaving,
yeah, that's why I was surprised. I thought maybe Giant Bomb East was just kind of folding, and then Brad came up, and I was like, oh no, this is bigger. And the last time this happened was when they all left GameSpot. They all a very, very similar type of exit, where a bunch of them left like within days of each other at GameSpot back in the day before coming on to Giant Bomb. So it's an eerie echo of that event, and kind of factors that we'll never fully be aware of. So it's sad. These people influenced Chris and myself a great deal in terms of writing and kind of the kind of coverage we want to put out there. So yeah, it's end of an era. There's been so many great people through Giant Bomb, from Dan Reichert to Austin Walker to Patrick Klepek. It's just been
the human meme that is Drew Scanlon,
of course. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's next for them. I don't know.
That's right, because Dan left too.
Yeah, Dan left too.
They've been hemorrhaging people for the last year, and then this is just the biggest exit. Like, what is, like, I get it that Jeff is still there. And like, this is no disrespect to like Jason and Jan, but what is Giant Bomb right now? Because, it's Brad is a huge part of that. Vinny, like, oh my God, like, there's a reason Vinny went out east and started Giant Bomb East. Like, that's why he was the guy for that, was just because he's kind of like become the number two. Like, you know, nothing about this is insignificant. And it's like kind of heart wrenching to see it happening in real time and kind of like experience this, kind of seeing this fall apart, and not to draw the comparison, but like it kind of brought back memories of like when we kind of took that hiatus. And obviously, like I said, there's no comparison to that, but there's still that personal feeling of like kind of when HalfGen took that hiatus and kind of, it kind of brought back those feelings. And I was just like, man, like that kind of put me in a funk for the rest of my day yesterday when I saw that. Cause that was it just drudged up a lot of like bad memories and stuff like that. And I was just like, if anything, it helped me like double down here. And I'm like, yo, I'm not letting that happen again.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad, but I haven't been following the website closely for a while now. I wasn't the biggest fan of Abby or Ben, and just wasn't interested in a lot of their content. But it's still, I've been following these guys for 13, 14 years now, since their days at GameSpot. So yeah, we'll see kind of where they end up, what they end up doing next. I could see Vinny completely going out of the public spotlight and just really focusing on his family. Maybe
I feel like Vinny could probably get back into like more behind the scenes production.
Yeah,
instead of being a face and a voice, I could see him getting a nice job, like, at a different company, or maybe even going back to like CBS and just being like, hey, let me just be like a producer or something.
Yeah.
And just so he doesn't have to move.
Yeah. Because that's the big thing. He bought the house, done a ton of work there.
And then, like, what is Alex gonna do? Like, maybe he gets back into like PR stuff.
Yeah. I could see all three of them actually going into the industry, the video game industry, the developing, the publishing side, the non-critic side.
Like, I can't imagine like Brad Shoemaker on another podcast.
No, apparently
I can't envision that.
Will Smith do a tech podcast, apparently, which I just found out about. Will Smith from Tested, not from actor Will Smith.
From former Whiskey Media alumni.
Yeah. And none of them are huge, and they've been hungering to write more. In that case, I could see maybe Alex or Brad joining Austin Walker and Patrick Klepek at Vice Games. I could see that maybe
that could be interesting.
Being a thing.
Or maybe there's that place Stephen Totillo went. I don't remember what it's called. He was the former editor-in-chief of Kotaku.
Kotaku, yeah.
Yeah, he started a new thing. So maybe they hop over to something like that. I have to imagine if it was enough for them to leave Red Ventures, either Red Ventures did something like made a bad deal with them, or somebody else offered them a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
Somebody would have had to like pry them away.
Yeah. I feel like it's the former.
I feel like Red Ventures enough for Ben to be like, hey, I'm going to not like, I'm getting out of this. Like, I just don't want to be in it anymore. I feel like Ben got burned. Abby felt burned and probably left. It's pure speculation on my part. I feel like Abby just probably didn't like the deal to begin with, whatever they were doing. And then Ben just kind of like went with it and then like got out when he realized, hey, this isn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, like I still listen to like the podcasts and stuff, and like Jan is a fun guy. Like
I like Jan.
I agree with what
Jason
you said. Like they still have a core there, a likable core to build around. And I imagine at that point, like if you're going to keep the Bombcast going, then Jeff becomes the host, and then you bring Jeff Bakalar in.
Yeah.
So you just have the two Jeffs, Jan, and you got the four Js.
Yeah, and Jeff released a statement.
Yes, I have that here actually.
Okay, yeah, to GameSpot, and he's talking about bringing in new and familiar faces to kind of fill the void. So, like, who knows? Maybe maybe we'll get some people back. But it seems like, again, it's all speculation, but it feels like as long as Red Venture is there, they're not getting anyone back, or maybe people he worked with at GameSpot back in the day. Who knows? But
maybe you think Danny O'Dwyer's been on the podcast for weeks now. I know he's
yeah,
doing no clip, but do you think maybe I don't think he can, because like the more I've thought about that, like maybe they try and bring him in somehow, but you can't because he's doing no clip.
yeah, no
And
clip
he
is
can't
way
be
too time
media.
consuming. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of the media thing. You can't have him be media and then be giving him all this behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
But yeah, here's the statement that Jeff made. We lost Nat's video.
I don't know what's happening.
I've spent a lot of the last year thinking about what's next for Giant Bomb, and most of those roads lead to a full-on rethink of what it means to be a website about video games in 2021. While I certainly would have loved to solve these challenges with my longtime friends and coworkers by my side, it just wasn't meant to be. I wish Vinny, Alex, and Brad the best. Meanwhile, we have a pretty exciting opportunity to broaden our horizons, rethink every facet of our operation, and get to a place where we're truly able to build that bomb all over again or die trying. There is a collective vision for what the future of Giant Bomb is, and it involves both familiar and new faces. We're already in talks with creators so that we can begin the next chapter. We're fully aware that this marks a big change, and we're using this as an opportunity to rethink what the site is. It's a chance to introduce new personalities from different backgrounds and explore categories and topics that we never have before. Rereading that sounds like Giant Bomb is not just going to be a video game site anymore. I wonder if Red Ventures... I don't know why, but this just screams influencers to me.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. Like, I read it, but reading it out loud and hearing the words, like when he says, rethink every facet, broaden our horizons. We're in talks with creators.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay. Alternatively,
yeah.
What if Giant Bomb buys No Pixel? Or not No Pixel.
No clip.
No clip. Sorry, No Pixel is the GTA thing. What if they buy them and then that becomes a thing they do?
Maybe.
What if they become less editorial and more industry insider, and then they have influencers come in to be content creators?
Maybe, yeah. It's I guess I didn't read it as like influencers. I read it as like Ben Pack and Abby Russell, like they had their own like YouTube channels and stuff before starting Giant Bomb. I think I think what he means by that is not necessarily looking for other like editorial like former magazine people, just kind of broadening who they look at to potentially fill it. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like
I just feel like when it says personalities and different backgrounds, I feel like this is shifting from, because they have GameSpot. And to Red Ventures, I could see them being like, hey, we don't need 2 video game focused websites. And I could see that being a sticking point for them of like, hey, like, GameSpot literally has game in their name. You guys are Giant Bomb. You can shift. And I could see guys like Alex, Vinny, and Brad being like, no, like, I want to either stay in games or do something like that. I'm not interested in being this big, broad thing. And maybe Jeff's on board for that because he's got a lot of industry contacts, across multiple industries. And maybe that's something that works for them. I just feel like the more I read this now, this feels like a shift to more of like almost like a personality driven, like just, multimedia kind of thing, like entertainment as a general focus kind of thing.
Which is weird because GameSpot's doing that. They're doing movie reviews and like they're reporting on that stuff already.
And so I wonder if maybe you take some of that away from GameSpot. Maybe that's what they're talking about with familiar faces. Maybe they reshuffle some of those staffs and they move that over to Giant Bomb. And then you keep GameSpot focused on the games.
Potentially, yeah.
Because I feel like that's one of the things.
GameSpot's so much bigger that just shifting stuff around, that could be it. Who knows?
I don't know. I just feel like that could be like the thing. And I just like rereading that statement. I just feel like that's not, maybe influencers isn't the right word, but like I just think when they say like creators and personalities, I'm thinking of like them bringing in like well-known people. They want name power, brand power.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yeah.
would, I could see Red Ventures being like, hey, you know what? If we're going to drive traffic to this, especially since Giant Bomb is already on a subscription,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Yeah.
keep that format, you start locking more stuff, unfortunately, behind premium. You start bringing in all these like well-known people, and then that becomes a revenue stream for them.
Yeah, it seems
Because
it feels weird
it
that Jeff
does.
would be on board for that. Like that, it feels like kind of what you talked about, to where he must have some contract in place or
There's
something. Because
got to be something where he can't leave.
Yeah, like
He's
I
trapped.
don't see him being like on board for that type of change. If
The
that's
other
the
thing could
direction
be,
they go.
his wife's pregnant again. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so like maybe it's just a situation where it's like, hey, let's get this baby going. Let's stick with this, drudge through this for a little bit, and then we move on to something else. I don't know. I was always worried when Giant Bomb got bought by CBS Interactive, when they got bought back in. And I get like why he would probably have to do that, because managing that is probably a nightmare. And having those resources available is probably a huge thing. But it just always felt like this was kind of a thing that could happen, because you have GameSpot and you have Giant Bomb. GameSpot has all the Giant Bomb has all the personalities, but GameSpot gets most of the traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see going forward. Like, who knows if, like we said, they all start something new. I know Drew Scanlon was doing a Cloth Map, which was his Patreon, where he was exploring like gaming across the world, where it was similar to No Clip, where there would be documentaries, but he'd visit and kind of delve into like the game industry in Brazil, that sort of thing.
And it wasn't even just
like
video
Russia.
games. Like he found some game in Mongolia that people were playing.
Yeah. So, but I know Cloth Map folded. He ended up stopped doing it, I think about a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. So, he don't know what he's been doing. Maybe just freelance video stuff. Who knows? But
I like the unintentional pun there. Cloth Map folded.
Oh, good. Yep.
Yeah.
Intentional.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see in the coming weeks what everyone does. I hope they all don't go the just like full-time streamer route like Dan Riker did, because
no, Dan Riker works for WWE.
Yeah, but most of his stuff is streaming.
Yeah.
He's a podcast producer, but he streams a ton.
Yeah, he does do that. Yeah,
it's just there's only so many people you can follow and stream, or people who stream. It's just like, I don't know. It'll be interesting. We're going in circles at this point. But,
yeah.
Yep.
But wishing our best to all of them. Giant Bomb and Vinny, Brad, and Alex. It's just it's crazy. Though not as crazy. I know you guys are probably not going to love this right away, but we got to talk about it because there's a ton of shit coming out of this Apple and Epic lawsuit going on right now. It has hit the courts. Litigation is happening, and there are a ton of like details coming out from everyone. Such as, for example, Microsoft, who announced earlier this week, before we get into the litigation stuff, they're cutting their Windows Store, specifically Windows Store, revenue take to 12% to match the Epic Game Store. So that's going to put more pressure on, someone like Valve, because now Windows Store is going to be much more likely to get PC releases day and date, and also possibly easier for Microsoft to sign an exclusive deal for that. So Valve is kind of getting put in a position where they have to do something soon, because the risk is if you don't do something at this point, like it's one thing when it's just Epic, but when Microsoft starts getting involved and their store is installed on every PC before even yours is, you got to start to consider that of like, hey, if these people can already get these games, we gotta make sure that people are going to keep putting games on our platform, because Microsoft has the bigger install base at this point because they own Windows, and it's very easy for them to put a thing on the side. Hey, you like games? Check out the Windows store, But according to, let me find which one of these is the story I'm looking for. Sorry, there's a bunch of stuff here. Microsoft was considering making the same move with the Xbox store.
Oh.
So they were very close. This was a document in a document from January, and this was part of the court proceeding. This was a confidential document that was released to the court. As of January, they were listing a 12% cut to PC gamers, and they said within calendar year 21, they were going to move all games to an 8812 on the Xbox store, which would be drastic in the industry because Sony and Nintendo all take 30 because, that's just the nature of the business on console. But yeah, so they were going to cut their revenue down to 12% there. But it was a thing where a lot of people were like, it doesn't make sense to do that because they already lose money. It was brought up in the court that apparently Microsoft has never made a profit on their consoles. Like through all the Xboxes, they have not made money on an Xbox console. They always sell at a loss. So that would be the thing, is Microsoft would lose a ton of revenue by doing that on a platform that is itself not profitable. And so that
makes sense.
That's a tough sell. So Microsoft has recently come out and said that they are not making that change to consoles because I don't think that's the battleground that needs to be fought on right now. And I think Microsoft probably thought better of it, of like, we could do this and we'd pull a bunch of people who want to put their game, because then at that point, even the Japanese developers would be like, well, it doesn't cost us anything barely to put it on an Xbox. Why not? We'll make more money on those copies than on a PlayStation, So it helps them, it benefits them, but that's a shakeup in the industry, in an industry that depends so much on their own isolated hardware. I think they probably thought better of that for the right reasons. But yeah, so they were strongly considering that, and again, opted not to do it. There was speculation that it was maybe going to be a thing of like, hey, we'll only give this revenue split to you if you allow our games to be, or if you allow your games to be streamed on xCloud. So that might have been like a thing for developers, like, hey, let us get the like streaming rights to your game, and we'll give you a better split. But that would have been nuts if Microsoft did that. Like that would have shaken the industry, the console business at least.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it will be Microsoft kind of taking the first step again, like they did with Game Pass and like they're doing with xCloud, taking the first like massive step in that direction.
Yeah, like I hate to say it though, but like I don't think consoles. I think like, if you ask developers, they'll probably tell you, obviously, they want to make more money, but like at a certain point, when you're not making money on the hardware, like I don't think anybody, maybe Nintendo is, I don't know if they're making money on the Switch right now, but consoles are more often than not sold at a loss. And like you're paying that fee to get access to that install base that is being curated by somebody else that is selling those platforms for you so you can get more people. Like it's kind of a give and take thing. It's a little less so. Like I can see the argument more against Steam than I can against a console manufacturer. Because Steam is just taking advantage of a platform that's already out there. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a store within a store almost. But yeah, so I thought, okay, yeah, here's the thread. So I pulled this thread. So today, a Microsoft representative was actually testifying today. There were a couple of things I wanted to pull from this kind of Twitter thread. A lot of people have been like live tweeting it because you can listen in on it. Like it's public. you can watch the trial. So they were talking about, they were grilling Epic a little bit on like, okay, so why do you support the 30% split on a console, but you don't support it on an iPhone? And Epic's big argument was that, an iPhone is more than a gaming device, whereas an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch are dedicated gaming devices. And they said they need that revenue share because, as Microsoft proved, they don't make money on the consoles. So that's kind of how they're explaining that. Apple basically wants them to kind of talk themselves into a corner. But a lot of it was, they wanted to know the difference between like AAA and other developers. So they had them break that down as like, hey, so what's the difference here? And they basically said that AAA games, as they are on a console, would not come to an iPhone. That's what isolates the experience a little bit. Like they said, Halo is just too big for iOS. And then they were asked, why would a developer only develop for the iPhone and not the Xbox? And they're basically just trying to get them to explain, like, okay, what makes your platform special compared to Apple? Why does Microsoft get to do this? And like, why would you change your revenue split on PC and not on your console? And it's the argument there of like, well, PC is much more out there. It's a different type of platform, blah, blah, blah. But it pulled in a lot of just questions. It brought up like a lot of questions about like, how maybe not questions. It brought up a lot of information on kind of how the industry really works. Like, we knew about these revenue splits, but like, if you read these threads, like they are grilling these people basically on like, how does Xbox run their business? And it's a lot of like insight into how that's done, like how Microsoft looks at their platform, how they treat it, and how they look at like, hey, this compared to PC, compared to putting it on this. They were asked about their xCloud because they were denied the app on Apple. They had to make a web app instead for Safari. And they're like, the Apple lawyer is like, hey, everybody's raving about your app. What's really the difference between having an app for this or having it running in Safari? And they were like, well, it's because we didn't have the options. Like, but everybody is using this. Everybody likes this. It's working. So Apple trying to defend their position, stuff like that. That's not so much what I wanted to get into, but I'm sorry. I'm looking through this thread and there's just like a fucking ton here. They added a bunch to it, I guess. They kept talking. Holy crap. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go through this thread anymore. It's too much. Last two, God, I'm telling you, there is so much here. It's nuts. So, okay, let's swap to PlayStation, because believe it or not, there is a ton coming out from PlayStation right now. It has been discovered that PlayStation gets bonus revenue on a cross-play game if they don't make as much money on their platform as they believe they should. So basically, there's this split. So if in a month, I'm trying to zoom this in real quick. So if in a month there's a cross-platform revenue of $1 million and PSN gets most of that, as long as they get like a 90% revenue share or something like that, then, or no, it was 85% revenue share, then they don't take any extra money. But if there's $1 million and they only make 600,000, Epic pays them based on a percentage of like the revenue they missed. So like in a scenario where there was $1 million and PSN only made 600,000, Epic would pay Sony $52,000 for lost revenue for somebody buying something on an Xbox instead of on a PlayStation for Fortnite. And that is the only company in this whole scenario that has that deal in place, which is kind of like the real crazy part, that Sony basically did that. That was the only way they could get them to play ball, basically. Like there's emails going back and forth where Epic was swearing like, hey, we're going to make you guys look like the heroes. We're going to announce crossplay with our new season. Like, we'll do all this extra stuff for you. And then at the end, they're just like, Epic's not changing its mind. And they're like, there's no scenario where we don't get what we want. This was when Fortnite was blowing up back in like 2018, when Sony eventually did cave. God, it was just reading through all this and just seeing like there's so much arrogance on both sides. Like Gio Corsi just sending an email to Epic and being like, nobody has been able to show us why having crossplay is valuable to us. Like, how are we making money on this, basically? And then Epic just being like, look, we're going to get it one way or another. Either you can agree to it or we're going to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, not surprised by the arrogance, to be honest. But
yeah. There was a breakdown of what Epic paid to get a bunch of their free games prior to, or in 2019, I believe it was. And let me tell you, some of these numbers are shockingly low. So they basically broke it down as the cost of getting a new user, how much it cost them for what they paid for the game, and how much it effectively cost them to get a new user out of it. So a game like Subnautica, they paid $1.4 million to give away Subnautica for free for a week or whatever. Excuse me, however it was. They gave away 4.6 million copies of the game. And of those, 800,000 were new Epic accounts. So they paid $1.74 per new user. In games like Metro 2033 Redux, they didn't pay a penny for that. Not one penny to give that game away. And they gave away another 4.6 million units of that. The most money they gave was to Batman, for the Batman Arkham games. They gave 1.5 million, and they did 6.5 million copies. But like, you look at some of these like indie games, Abzu, $150,000 they paid them for that. The End is Nigh, $200,000. Fez, $75,000 to give away 2.5 million copies of Fez. For Honor, $63,000. Like Torchlight, $150,000. Like,
yeah,
just,
I mean, like some of the numbers I think make sense because I think a lot of those games are older and they would not make that in months and months and months at this point. So I think the numbers for some of those make total sense, especially with the smaller games.
I mean, some of them, but like
End is Nigh, like Fez was like 2012, 2013. Like that game is not making $75,000. So I get it.
That's the thing. You'd be surprised. Like Transistor, $200,000.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is, Oxenfree, $200,000. Axiom Verge, $80,000. The thing is that a lot of these games still do make a good chunk of money. Like, a lot of developers have been talking about it. They've been talking about like how like stuff like on Steam works. And they said like, yeah, we make a lot of money up front, but they said the whole thing is they make a lot more money on the tail end than people think they do. Like, a lot of games continue to sell relatively well long into their lifetime. And so it's not so much like, just remember, it's not so much the dollar amount they paid to get it. It's the dollar amount relative to how many copies they actually gave away. Because, like, you know, you might think, yeah, 200,000 for Transistor's nothing, or, you know, yeah, that's an old game. But then it's 2.5 million copies.
But it wouldn't have sold the 2.5 million copies.
It might have on the right sale.
It would have taken a very long time. Like, I think, especially if most of these, I can't remember if they're a month or a week. Like, if most of these are a week, like, I think these make total sense because yes, they like so many copies, like 2.5 million copies, all this stuff. But like, if it wasn't free, 2.5 million copies would have taken a lot longer. So I think a lot of the prices make sense. And yes, they do make a lot of money on the tail end. This is just kind of like a short jump start, or like a energy drinks worth of extra sales, basically.
Fair. Yeah. I've just seen a lot of people, like a lot of like indie devs on Twitter since this has come out being like, yo, ask more money for your games, because a lot of them were just like, they didn't ask for enough.
Yeah.
So there is a belief that they definitely did not do enough for some of these indie devs. Hold on. I'm just trying to see if this was something related to the courts or not. No. All right. That was a lot of the big stuff coming out of the court case. Yeah, that was pretty much it. There's a lot of like, I really encourage anybody who's like interested in how the industry is like really run, like really run, to go and look at that stuff, because there are threads and threads of tweets, of art. There's tons of articles. It really gives you like a lot of insight into how the industry actually works, and I've actually had a really good time reading a lot of that stuff. Like it's been kind of eye-opening in a lot of ways. So I definitely encourage people, anybody interested in that stuff, seek it out. It's there. And I am going to move on to other stuff. So a lot of this other stuff, this was more of the normal stuff I was going to try and pull. IO is working on another game. They're still finishing up Hitman 3. They're working on 007. But apparently, they might be working on an Xbox exclusive fantasy game. This was reported by Windows Central and corroborated by Eurogamer. So the report states that it's a fantasy IP. It's going to take place in a medieval setting and feature dragons. Eurogamer knows that it's AAA in scope, will be set in a large world, but not much else is known. I feel like this would be, other than like Little Ninjas, or Mini Ninjas or whatever it was, this would be kind of a first for IO, kind of getting out of the more realistic, or at least in a very long time, getting it out of like the realistic.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking
spectrum.
at their catalog, it's been all Hitman, Freedom Fighters, Kane and Lynch, Mini Ninjas, and then apparently the working title for this project is Project Dragon.
Yeah, that makes sense. So this is apparently what Project Dragon is.
Right. So, hey, it's the Hitman games aren't for me. But I recognize how good they are. So I'm excited to see what IO does with a new genre, some new gameplay. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, they're very talented developers. I wonder if it would be like, obviously you're not going to have as funny as it sounds, like you're not going to have like a medieval Hitman game.
Dude.
Imagine
Speak
big
it into
open
existence.
world. You just got the bow and you're just like, you're dead. Regicide.
At that point, it's just like Thief, I guess, at that point almost.
Just make a good Thief game. I don't know.
Yeah, make a good Thief game.
Sell them Thief.
Yeah, make a Splinter Cell.
Remember when they were owned by Square and they didn't have them make a Thief game?
I do.
Missed opportunities.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am interested. That sounds like a very different game than anything else they've made. Yeah. And I hope it's good. Like, I hope it's something that like a big passion project for them. Regardless of if it's exclusive or not, I hope it's a really good game.
Same.
Speaking of games that weren't good or I guess not speaking of anything related to IO, let's talk about some games that weren't good. Cyberpunk Managers, it's crazy. That game came out and it was a disaster on previous gen consoles, but it sold so much that they're still going to get their goddamn bonuses. The management team is going to get... Oh, and by the way, the game is still not available on the PlayStation Store.
I was going to ask how those last gen versions are doing after several months.
Cyberpunk's score on Metacritic is 57 for the PlayStation 4.
Is that the critic or user?
I believe that's critic.
Wow.
Yeah. So their CEO is going to get a bonus of 24, effectively 6.3 million US dollars. A board member and the director of Cyberpunk is going to get 4.2 million. The game's director. They're part of a profit sharing plan because Cyberpunk was the best selling game in the company's history. I believe they sold 13.8 million copies of the game. So that's kind of on us. That's on us. Some employees will receive a profit sharing bonus of anywhere between 5 and 9,000, while other more senior employees will get 15 to 20,000.
Interesting.
The people,
Yeah,
who
sold
worked
really
on the
well.
game. Yeah, I own it. Unfortunately, I'm contributing to that. Still haven't played it.
Yeah, still don't have like a huge desire to go back after the couple hours I put in, but I will someday probably. Kind of keeping with the CD Projekt Red news, the director of Witcher 3 has left CD Projekt Red after a 4-month investigation of workplace bullying on his part to other employees. So he started at the company in 2004 and worked his way up to become director of our game of the generation. And apparently he's
Your
real
game
jerk.
of the generation.
The HalfGen's game of the generation.
Nier Automata in our hearts.
Half
Hearts and
Gen's
minds.
Game of the generation. If
you can't say hearts and mind if it's just one heart.
Yeah.
there are other believers out there.
if we have to say the Final Fantasy VII remake is HalfGen's game of the year for 2020.
All right, listen, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just having
How dare
fun.
you?
I'm having some fun at your expense. How dare you?
There's no fun here. But yeah,
there's a lot of
leaving.
expense here.
It'll be interesting to see if he lands anywhere else, but
I don't think so.
But yeah,
if he's
probably
bullying people, he shouldn't.
Yeah,
he might.
Yeah. So I mean, we saw Ray Rice get another job, so who knows? Anything can happen. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah. On the topic of shitty things happening to developers, Paradox Interactive, developers of games like Stellaris and Europa Universalis and Hearts of Iron, have had enough of their fan base, because they said that the toxicity in their forums is driving their developers away from them.
Wow.
Yeah. This was a statement from, there's a content designer, Archangel85 made this statement. Often we do face a debate culture that is not enjoyable to take part in, where it is taken as a given that devs are either lazy or incompetent, and that where everything we do is viewed through that lens. Not only is it incredibly demoralizing to spend months of your life creating something only to see the people you made it for tear it to shreds, it is also a debate that gives no one anything. And then they went on to make a further point. We aren't paid to wade through pages of abuse to find a few nuggets of useful feedback. So that feedback is not acted on. And then the executive chairman of their board, our forum has always been an important way for us to communicate directly with our fans, and I would not be a supporter of closing it down. However, there are certain things that I'd like to point out. And then he goes into... he talks more about like other stuff, because like somebody was like, hey, it's time to purge the forums, and he goes on to a thread kind of explaining like, hey, we're not going to do that. A lot of this is pointed to a recent release. I think it was for Europa Universalis for a Leviathan expansion, which came out in a horrible state. Like there were still like temporary assets in the game that were like very clearly not supposed to be there. Like basically they just released the game way too early and then they started fixing it. And so it became the lowest rated game on Steam. Period. Like it is the bottom of Steam. So that's what caused a lot of it. But Paradox has historically had this problem where the people go on their forums and just start tearing every release they make apart. And that is just like the pinnacle of toxic gamer culture.
Yeah,
Like
that's too bad.
There's a time for constructive feedback. There is no time for like these developers are not lazy. This game is still getting updates. It's been out for like 12 years. And it's still getting expansions. That's not laziness, that's passion. It was a different team that made it, granted. So, maybe there's some growing pains there. I can understand player frustration in a situation like this where it's very clear that the game should not have been released. Like that expansion should not have been released. It should have been delayed. Regardless of that, you don't get to go out and just be like, these devs are lazy, incompetent, because I sure don't see you doing the job. That's one of the few things. That's one of the few things I try to draw the line on. There are times like certain former directors of Days Gone trying to tell people how to spend their money. That's not okay. But you can't go to them and just be like that is one of the things I refrain from in all conversation about games. I don't like to call developers lazy. I don't like to call them incompetent because they're trying to make the best game they can make. And I honestly believe like you can tell the difference between a mistake and laziness because there are some actual games made by very lazy people who just want to make a couple quick bucks. You can tell that shit right away in the mountains of shovelware on Steam. That's not what this is, So let's just get that out of the way, first and foremost.
Yeah, it's the internet is a terrible place, full of people who feel invincible behind keyboards. It's unfortunate, and it's sad that it's affecting this team so much that it's driving people away from the company. It's like I get if like they shipped the game and there were temporary assets and stuff, like that's a legitimate complaint to have, but it's about how you frame your issues with the game. And if you're just going on there to be negative and bash, like find a better use of your time, because you're wasting it into showing that you have nothing else going on in your life, really. So,
and it's just like I almost wish like Paradox would kind of like the one of the big solutions for this, because Paradox has their own launcher for their games on Steam, so it launches into a launcher. I think what they should do is they should have people link their Steam accounts. They should have people link their game accounts all to their forum IDs. And if you're being negative in that forum, you should get banned from the game. Just be like, hey, how do you like the game now that you can't play it online with your friends? Which, that might not be what they're doing. But I think it would be cool if they were able to take action. If they were able to be like, hey, guess what? Have fun not going online on this game for 2 weeks because you're an asshole in our forums.
Yeah. It's a balancing act, man. It's tough. It's between being overly punitive and not going far enough with punishments. So,
well, that's the thing is like right now with a forum, for the most part, like, yeah, you have to make the account. And I don't actually remember if the account is the same, but like, regardless, even if you can just make a throwaway account and probably get on that forum. Like they're not going to check to see if you own the game. So you can make an account, get on that forum, talk all the shit you want. Even if they ban you on the forum, it has no impact on you. You can just do it again. That's why I'm saying you shouldn't be able to even talk on the forum unless they like register your CD key, or whatever. Like not a CD key, but you know what I mean? Like link your Steam account. We want to make sure you own this game before you start talking about it.
Yeah. If you want to just dump on the game, hey, Reddit's there for everyone. But on the official game forums for like feedback, come on.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even trust me, like I'm in a community with Destiny of people who have a lot of feedback for the developer, and for as many threads as I see on Reddit of just like, guys, this ain't it. I don't see anything close to what they're talking about here. As far as like just the complete mistreatment of these developers, like it's disrespectful and it's fucking embarrassing. As a member like of this community of this medium, It's embarrassing. Like you're literally the worst of us.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You are the worst.
Yep. And you sure as hell won't be the last of us.
The same people who fucking turned that into a battleground. You're also the worst. You're all the worst. Yep. If you go on a forum and start just talking lazy devs, incompetent, blah, 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 either do better or shut the fuck up. Like, honest to God. Those are your two options. Either do it better yourself or keep your mouth shut.
Instead of taking time out of your day to complain about something, why don't you try doing something productive or trying something else that you
find something that makes you happy? Because clearly this ain't it. This is not the fucking thing for you. If your reaction to, oh, well, this game wasn't what I expected, to go on and just like blast the devs and just be like, these fucking people, I can't fucking believe, like, then find a new hobby. This ain't it. It's never going to be it for you. Everybody has their vision. Everybody's trying to make the best game that they think they're making. Not everybody's going to like everything about it. But you keep playing because there's something you do like about it. But if you're on that forum all day, if you're spending as much time in the forum as you are on the game, you're not enjoying the game. It's just a fact. But yeah, that's just Jesus. PlayStation. Let's get into some good news. We got some good news. Couple good stories here to kind of end it out on. Sony has announced a new partnership with Discord, which is kind of the match made in heaven we've been waiting for someone to do for like the last couple years.
Yeah, Xbox has had Skype on Xbox for a while, but
they had already ruined Skype by that point. Skype was already dead. Like it was just, it was like what was the movie? Was it Weekend at Bernie's or something? What was the movie where they had the dead guy and they kept making him look like it is? Yes, thank you. Yeah. It's Weekend at Bernie's and Skype was burning and they were just trying to make it look like, look, Skype's here. Say hi, Skype. Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Discord has needed to be on consoles for a while at this point, and after recently Microsoft in talks to just flat out buy Discord, it's an interesting turn with Sony.
I feel like this conversation was being had regardless, and maybe Sony was waiting to see what was going on with Microsoft, and maybe Discord decided, like, look, we can make this deal with Sony, we can probably make a similar deal with Xbox, and then we can stay independent.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what it was.
And then they just filed the IPO. So Jim Ryan himself went on the PlayStation blog. It's in this spirit, we're excited to announce a new partnership with Discord, communication service popularized by gamers and used by more than 140 million people every month around the world. Together, our teams are already hard at work at connecting Discord with your social and gaming experience on PlayStation Network. Our goal is to bring the Discord and PlayStation experiences closer together on console and mobile starting early next year, allowing friends, groups, and communities to hang out, have fun, and communicate more easily while playing games together. Which sounds like Discord is coming to PlayStation.
Sounds great. I'd love to have Discord on PlayStation.
That should happen. That's great, especially with all these games getting crossplay and all these people playing on their PlayStation to whether it's Fortnite, whether it's Call of Duty, whether in a couple months it's going to be Destiny. I have so many people I can't wait to play Destiny with who only play it on console, and it's like, yo, now just hop on Discord, my guy,
not
it's
having
on your console.
For myself being primarily a console gamer, being able to not have to always have a computer next to me to have Discord running is huge. So
they just gotta hit all of them, and Nintendo I feel like will be the hardest of them, but I feel like Microsoft, if Sony has the deal, Microsoft will match it. I feel like they're obligated, and I feel like Discord's probably already talking about that, like, hey, like, I know we wouldn't let you buy us, but like, let's still do this.
Yeah, I think it's the smart play.
I think they're probably not going to really try Nintendo, because Nintendo's communication app is already through the phone, so they probably in their
Fortnite
mindset.
does support voice through the, like, you can plug in earbuds with a microphone directly into the Switch and use them on Fortnite.
Okay,
I think it's on a game by game basis. It's just Nintendo is so bass backwards that it's like They still think they're in fucking 2014 or something. I don't know.
It's like PS2 online where everything was its own. You had your own like gamer tag for each game, and yeah,
It's
it's
like the
just totally
days when we
nonsense.
would go into Rainbow Six Vegas, get in a private match so we could talk, and then play Resistance.
Yes,
Before
that was
there
our
was a
Discord.
party chat on Xbox,
Yep.
we would just go into Rainbow Six Vegas, private match, get all of our friends in there, and then like we'd set it to like friends only or something, or like I'd get a message and be like, "Hey, invite me," and it's just like, "What are you guys doing?" It was always John. We're playing. You guys are playing Vegas? No, we're playing Resistance. He'd be like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm just
Okay,
gonna
bye.
chill, I guess." And it's like, "All right, that's fine. We're just playing Resistance. You should play it." Nah, gamer score. God, we got to get him on one of these days. He wants to get on real bad.
Yeah.
Humble Bundle was changing their policy. You know how they're famous for donating to charity.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to change a little bit of that. They were going to cut the maximum charity portion to 15%. They were going to get rid of the sliders and just have buttons and decide like how much Humble gets, how much the developer gets, and then the max for the charity was going to be 15%. There was a lot of community outcry about that. They decided not to do that anymore. So they're going to bring back the sliders, but they're not done trying to figure out. So there's no more limit on what you can give to charity, which was a very important part of that whole business. Is that
Yeah.
you got to pick with those bundles how much went to charity, and that was why a lot of people bought those.
Yeah. It's never a good PR move to make the amount you can give to charity less.
No, it is. One
It's a
might
bad
say
move.
never a good move.
Yep.
Never ever a good move. Should not be done. Don't do it.
I feel like
Uh,
if it wasn't as like, I feel like Humble very much is like a pay what you want kind of service. Like they don't really seem like. I feel like a lot of people go there to get great deals on games, which is their prime, is like how most people use it. But on the other hand, they are kind of like pay what you want for a game. Like you could, if you wanted to, you could give them $100 for a $5 bundle, and they'll gladly take it. But
yeah,
it's like, that was acceptable because you could give them $100 and give 90 of it to charity or something. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
But only giving $15 to charity at that
Mm-hmm.
point, it's like nobody's going to give those high numbers anymore because they don't care. Realistically, you're buying that bundle for one of two reasons. You're going to spend it the least you can to get the games you want
Mm-hmm.
because you just want the games at a good price. The only time you're spending more, honestly, like, maybe this isn't the case, but I believe 95% of the time, the only reason you're spending a penny more than that
Is to
is
give it
to
to
give it to
charity.
the charity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not for Humble and it's not for the developer. You want that money to go to the charity.
Yep. Agreed.
So like that's just taking that money away. Yeah, it puts more money in their pocket, which I'm sure is what they want. That's why you got the Humble store.
Well, they've
Get
been
more
trying
people to
to
buy stuff there.
they've been trying to change a lot of stuff behind the scenes ever since their acquisition from IGN.
Yeah. That was always one of my big concerns. All these acquisitions, and it's always a concern. And now they're all coming to fruition.
So I feel
Yep.
like a lot of people now are just in the acquisition business to diversify their portfolio,
The
and
whole
they don't
industry is
really
consolidating.
get why they'll buy something and not really get why it works or how it works. They'll just
Oh
buy
yeah.
it based off of name and traffic sake.
Yeah. Or like even like not even acquiring, but like putting people in high ranking positions in the video game industry who are like really successful movie execs or something like that, where they don't have no idea how the industry works, but they've been successful elsewhere. So the company's just like, yeah, we'll just slot them in there. They'll do fine. And then ruin the company.
Yeah.
So
Look
yeah.
at the eternal struggle that is, even people who know what they're doing in video games. What is it, Warren Spector for fucking what's that game? Star Citizen?
Is
Is
Warren
that
Spector
Warren?
Star Citizen?
Is it? It's one of the big guys. It might not be him.
Hmm.
Hold on.
Anyway, know what you mean.
Now I gotta know. Star Citizen creator. Chris Roberts. I'm sorry.
Chris Roberts.
I knew it was one of the big one of the former like big in like the 80s 90s type guys,
Right,
Chris Roberts, and like that game is raising all this money and it's a fucking nightmare. And this guy like made a couple of really good games. I think he made like Wing Commander 3 or 4, whichever the good one was.
Mm-hmm.
And then like now everybody's giving him all this money, but where's the game?
Yeah.
Made more money than any other game in history, and it's like not out. It's crazy how it's been in development for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Last bit of good news here, Ross, especially of interest to you, I believe. EA realized there's a lot of past Mass Effect Deluxe Edition content that was tied to those games. Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, had to buy the expensive copy. They're not going to be part of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and they want this to be as inclusive a thing as they can. And so you would think EA would be like, hey, give us $20, we'll give you the stuff. Instead, they gave it away for free. You can go onto a website right now. It's a 1.7 gig download package that includes all 3 Mass Effect soundtracks, complete. 1, 2, and 3. It includes the digital art books for Mass Effect 2 and 3, and it includes the digital comic books and a digital lithograph of the Normandy. All of that
link after this
for free right now. I downloaded it. I now have all 3 Mass Effect soundtrack. I'll put it in staff chat for you. That's the GameSpot article. But yeah, I have all 3 Mass Effect soundtracks in my YouTube music now. Like they even included a track that they recorded for Legendary Edition in that for free.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You can also, I sent you a picture before. They have a website where you can make your own custom box art for the Legendary Edition. And you can put, like, it asks you, who are your 2 favorite party members? Who's your most trusted companion? Who's your backup squad?
Hit me with that link as well.
Yeah.
Because I saw the picture you sent, but yeah.
And it's literally just the box art. It's like the PlayStation cover, like desktop background right now, is literally the cover I made for Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So it's got like all my favorite characters. Like it's got Tali and, Garrus right next to me. And then like Liara's down there. Rex is like my most trusted companion kind of guy. And it's like, you can make your own. You can choose if it's Paragon or Renegade. They are doing all this really cool shit for this game, which really like indicates to me like EA knows this has to be good. Like they know.
It can't be a Master Chief Collection situation.
They know how big this game needs to be for them, and they know how big it already is.
Yeah, for the listeners, I think we can put those links in the show notes. I think that's something we can probably do.
I think everything. I'm gonna link this GameSpot article because it has everything.
Cool.
Credit because that's where I found it all from them. Mm-hmm. That's why I pulled this. Nice. That also has the link to the key art creator, so you can make it like you can either do it as like a box art. You can save it for something, but you can also save it as a 4K wallpaper.
That's awesome.
And that's what I did to get it on my PC. Like you can choose for the background, like that's in Shepard's body. Like I have like the Reapers landing on the Citadel. Spoilers, I get. Like the Reapers landing on the Citadel and stuff like that. Like you can even choose that. Like they just have so many options, and you can keep making them. You can randomize them, and like it was fun. Like it sounds stupid, but I had fun making it because I was like, oh my god, yes, these guys, it's got to be these 2. All right, who's my most? This guy, it's got to be Red. Okay, backup squad, cleanup crew, Grunt. Yeah, he's coming in, and I was just like at the end, I'm like, fucking throw Jacob in there. Let's go. It was good. I had a lot of fun making it. Like it sounds so stupid, and then just seeing the renders like with the like you could just slot that into your case and just see like it's got the background of like play the legendary game trilogy, like all that box art shit on it. It's great. I love it. You could print that out. Like it's so cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
And it's all free. All of it is free.
Good guy EA coming back, showing their head one more time.
Yeah. So, like, holy shit. Good for you, EA. You could have charged money for this and people would have paid it, but you didn't. And so props to you. 3 full sound. There's 88 tracks of music. It's crazy. And it's all really good because it's Mass Effect. But yeah, that was
It's good stuff.
That was the last piece. That was There's a lot going on in the industry right now. But let's talk about some games that we've been playing.
Let's do it.
Go?
One other brief thing while we were on Mass Effect. They did come out with information about how all the console versions will run. And I just wanted to run down that really fast in case that affects your purchasing decision. So on EA, this is from GameSpot as well. EA shared the breakdown for maximum resolution frame rate. For original PS4, the performance mode is up to 60 FPS and 1080p. Quality mode is up to 30 FPS and 1080p. PS4 Pro performance mode is up to 60 frames at 1440p, and quality is 30 frames at 4K. PS5 is performance mode is 60 FPS, 1440p. Quality is 60 FPS, 4K. So why you wouldn't run it at 4K?
Well, regardless? It's a 4K target.
Yeah, 4K. All of these are up to.
Well, no, yes. So I think the performance one I think is going to probably be like checkerboarded, so it's going to run more consistently at 60, whereas the quality mode is going to prioritize the visual, so it'll be up to 60, but will probably dip from time to time depending on the game.
Fair enough.
That's the caveat there.
Yeah. Original Xbox One. Performance mode 60 FPS 1080p, quality 60 FPS 1080p. Xbox One X / Xbox Series S, performance 60 FPS 1440p, quality is 30 FPS 4K. And then last but not least, Xbox Series X performance mode 120 FPS at 4K, quality 60 FPS 4K. So yeah, even last gen consoles getting 60 FPS, which is great to see.
These performance modes can never go away.
No,
they can never go away.
No,
this is the generation that finally is going to fix 60 FPS for everybody. Yes. You can't take these away.
You can't go back.
Even on last gen now, they're like, yo, we got to have a 60 FPS mode.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's the last piece of news.
Just that'll be the first time those games run at 60 FPS on a console.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's crazy. Like if you've only ever played Mass Effect on a console, you've only ever played at 30, and a lot of times, if you're lucky, because those games didn't always run the best. But man, that is good news for everyone involved there. Ross, what do you want to lead us off here?
Sure.
With some games?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I still don't know how this has happened, but apparently I've put almost 40 hours into MLB The Show.
You're getting me thinking I gotta play that now. Like me and you gotta do something. We should do what we do in Madden, but with MLB. Let's get the Royals back to the World Series.
Yo, man, I'm down.
Let's do it. A new series coming to the HalfGen YouTube.
Yeah, two guys who really don't know any of the players, but
we just need a picture of us standing back to back, and it's just going to be GM.
Yep. The return of Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
Inside joke. But yeah, so I talked a little bit on the podcast about the March to October mode, which is basically it sims a whole season, but it in a lot of the games it'll slot you in for kind of a key moment, whether it's holding a lead where you just play as the pitcher, or it'll throw you in at the 7th inning in a close game and you'll play both sides of the ball. It's basically like a buffed up kind of super sim from Madden. Excuse me. And I had a ton of fun with that. Did it with the Royals, ended up winning the World Series with the Royals. And one super cool thing about that mode is that at the end after the World Series, it'll be like, do you want to import this into a franchise mode save? And I was like, hell yeah, that's super cool. I did not think these modes were going to connect like that. So I can just continue on what I was doing in franchise mode.
As the World Series champions.
as the World Series champions, which I haven't done a ton of because I've been doing Road to the Show, which is the creative player story mode type of thing. And I find it to be a great balance. Like with 2K and with Madden, I appreciate what they've tried to do going for like these cinematic like movies, but it's too much for me. The show is a great balance of there's no real like there's not a ton of cutscenes. Like you get enough of like the you're working your way up just through like the main menu of like the Road to the Show, like your My Player, where he's just like sitting in the locker room like on his phone, and like his teammates are over sitting at a table and people are just walking around, and it's super cool. I've been playing a ton of it. So you uh, start off being drafted. You can be super general and be like, yeah, I want whoever will take me. It's just an honor to play in the league. And I was like, no, I want to play for the Royals. And so you can pretty much pick who you want to be drafted by, from my understanding, because it
I
worked
think
for me first time.
every game is switched to that mode. I feel like a lot of them used to like send you wherever, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
people they like a lot of games realized like, hey, people want to play for their fucking team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
we rig it, they don't care. They want to play for their team.
People
Yeah.
don't care
Yeah.
how they got the extra first round pick in
Yeah.
nobody cares how the Rams got a first round pick this year. As long as I want to be on the Rams in Madden.
There you
It
go.
doesn't matter. Les Snead made it work without trading any
2K
picks or
makes
players. It's
2K
crazy.
makes even less sense because your rival is literally the number one pick every time,
Yeah, that's true.
unless
Yeah.
you do everything 100% perfect. So the Knicks, for example, in my game had the first number one and number two pick, and they drafted my rival and me.
That's funny. I
You know,
didn't know. Yeah.
because we both don't play shooting guard.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that could happen. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Road to the Show, it's cool. So yeah, you pick who you get drafted by. You start off on their AAA affiliate. I got like several months into the season. Was having a lot of fun, and then I got bumped up to the AA team, or no, it goes AA to AAA. I got that backwards. Got bumped up to the AAA team to where I had been a two-way player, so I was pitching, but also being like a, how you doing, Nat, over there with that whatever you're opening.
This bag of peanuts was the hardest bag to open in my life.
But yeah, so right now I'm on the AAA affiliate. I was a two-way player. I've gotten a lot better at hitting in that game, but I'm still bad at it. So I was like, the manager came to me and was like, "Hey, the Major League, like the Royals, are looking to bring you up, but it might help if you focus on one or the other for right now, and then leaving the door open to be a two-way player." And I was like, "That makes sense. I'm a much better pitcher than I am a hitter." So haven't been called up yet. Looking forward to it.
How is the pitching in that game? Because like I'm scared that I'm gonna be bad at. Like I want to play that mode.
Yeah.
But like I'm afraid to be bad at fielding. Like I kind of want to be an outfielder, but I'm scared. And I feel like pitching is the easiest kind of way to get in there. It's kind of like being a quarterback in Madden. It's like you just kind of get control of everything. But like I want to hit though.
Yeah. So the cool thing about MLB The Show, and again, this is coming from someone who has never played an MLB The Show game, so these might have been features since 2015, but they're new to me. So hitting, fielding, and pitching all have multiple control methods that you can pick from. So like for hitting, you can do like the MVP baseball route, where you just like hold a direction with the left stick, and then like one button is contact swing, one button is power swing. You have one where you have like a PCI zone. So it's these like brackets with some dots in the middle where you can move it around the strike zone where you think the pitch is going to be, and you can move around while the pitch is coming and try to center the ball and hit it that way. Or you can do an analog swing where you just like fling up to hit, or you can change it to where you kind of wind up, so you start off by pulling back and then flinging forward. And for me, like a lot of the high level players use the PCI zone because it's the most like exact. I've found the most success for me personally using the analog swing, surprisingly. I've been having a lot of fun with that, but like the pitching as well. Like For pitching, there's again the analog option where it's like you're doing like tricks from skate on the analog stick, depending on what pitch you're doing. I'm using like the MVP baseball like meter where it goes over and then flings back, and you have to hit A when it's in like the good zone. That's what I use because it's what I like. And I've been having a lot of fun with that. And then fielding, um, there's basically like the button press where you have to hold it and release it when it's in the green zone for a good throw, so you don't overthrow. I use analog stick directions. So like if you hit right on the right analog stick, it'll go to first base, so on and so forth. So they really let you kind of control the game how you want to through their own kind of control methods, or through like if you're more familiar with older baseball games like I am, you can go that direction. So it's super easy to get into. It'll take a while potentially to figure out the mix of control methods you want, but
I'm sorry,
they give you a lot of options.
I don't know if you mentioned. I might have spaced for a second. I
Sure,
apologize.
sure.
The fielding controls. How are those?
Yeah. So
Or was that the
those
analog stick thing you were talking about?
that was the analog stick thing I was
Okay,
talking
okay.
about.
I'm sorry.
So no,
I'll
you're
be
good.
honest. I spaced for a second.
No, you're good. Yeah, but like I think each section of play from hitting, pitching, and fielding all have three different, vastly different control options from each other. So you just mess around with it and figure out what feels good for you.
I just want to hit. I want to just hit some dingers. You know.
Yeah, it's man, off-speed pitches will really throw you. There's a lot of different camera angles.
They'll really
Luckily
throw
for
you.
batting, they will. But yeah, so I've put like 35 or 40 hours into that game at this point, and just like it's addicting. It's just a lot of fun, which I would never have played if it wasn't for Game Pass. So thanks, Game Pass. Let's see, what else have I been playing? I finished Tell Me Why. The
Final say when?
Final say probably Monday.
I meant to also ask that about MLB The Show, so that's for both.
Yep. Yeah. So Tell Me Why. I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. Final say Monday. And then MLB The Show. Not for a while. I still have to mess around with a lot of other modes.
Fair enough. I feel good though that you're taking that, because I was thinking like, boy, one of us should do this.
Yeah,
we don't cover enough sports games. I feel like we're kind of underserving that a little bit, and I'm so glad that you did that, because then I don't have to interact with any. I just want to do home run derby and like make my guy, and I just want to hit home runs. It's all I want, man. Is I just want to win and just be like, oh wow, home run! That's crazy.
Yeah, and there's also last thing on MLB. There's this awesome moments mode, which I think other sports games could do better with, where they drop you into like a historic moment. Like they drop you into the moment, and you have to play as like Babe Ruth when he calls his shot and he calls his home run, and like they match the broadcast style.
Really
so like
cool.
so like the screen will be black and white. Like all of the graphics will be old timey, and they have that from what I've seen for like the super old black and white from like the 80s and 90s, like those kind of graphics for like the scoreboard and everything. They have those, and then the modern day stuff. Like the folks at Sony San Diego, like you can tell, care so much about the sport, and it shows. But yeah, so that's all I'll say about MLB. Tell Me Why.
Please do.
I really like the game. I think it could have benefited from having the 5 episodes like Life is Strange. Like I think Life is Strange is still better for me. I think Tell Me Why is like better written, but it feels at times kind of rushed. But it's a very different story from Life is Strange, and it's one again. Each episode only takes about like an hour and a half, between like an hour and a half and 3 hours. There's only 3 episodes on console and PC Game Pass. It's a good, just knock it out in a weekend. Chris, I think you would like it a lot.
I will have to try it.
Yeah, so finish that. Let's see, what else? I've played a little bit more Loop Hero. Still just being very cautious and just doing mostly resource runs at this point.
Have you gotten to the second boss yet?
I have not actually gotten to the second boss yet. No.
I haven't either yet. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, it's still. I'm being very, very terrified of the second boss right now.
I'm trying to get the I'm trying to get those orbs, because I want to build
Mm-hmm.
The library. I'm trying to get the
Yeah.
orbs for fighting the big groups. Can
Yes.
you get
Yes.
those on the chapter 1?
Yep. That's how I
Because
got
I
mine.
got one in
Yeah.
chapter 2, but I did one in
Mm-hmm.
chapter 1 where I built a bunch of the villages, the vampire villages,
Yeah.
and I wasn't getting them. And I know it's a chance drop, so I wonder if maybe it's a higher chance on 2, but then you get the
Yeah.
debuffs.
Yeah, because I think if you look like at the before you start the run, it'll say like 5% increased chance of loot or whatever. I think
Yeah, so
on
I
whatever
guess
the
I
active
just
one
need
is.
to I guess I just need to keep powering through that.
Yeah, yeah, but still having fun with that game. That game is still great. Um, let's see. Um, oh my god, there's definitely missing something. Oh my god, what am I missing? Nothing on Switch. PlayStation. Oh my god, Nier Replicant. Yes. Uh, I got Nier Replicant. Playing it on PS5. I'm about 13 hours in. Uh, game's good. You can definitely tell gameplay design aspects that are still some 2010 game design decisions.
You're not kidding.
Um, so they're like you have to move around a box to jump on, and you can't move it diagonally, only the cardinal directions, which is yeah, not great. But
Why
the
would you
music in the
ever want
game,
to move a box diagonally?
I ask
Or,
myself that.
horizontally,
Yeah, every day. Um, but yeah, most of that game, just from kind of side by side comparisons with the original 2010 release, like it looks great. The kind of environments are kind of barren, but I've always been kind of one for those, like Shadow of the Colossus. Like I love kind of just open, like not busy
they
environments,
get
and
the
that's what
job done.
they
They
do.
do their
They do.
job. Like that's it.
It's less is more in a lot of cases.
It's no frills. It's just like, hey, this is the environment is not the important part of what's happening here.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and
my problem with Fallout 4 compared to like 3 in New Vegas. Fallout
mhm.
4 is just so cluttered. Everywhere you look, there's just something on top of something.
Yeah. So, and it just helps. It just adds on to it that like the music for the areas just enhance it so much. Like
So
there's been
good.
multiple times in different zones where I've just stopped and listened to the music. Um, it's if you liked Nier Automata's soundtrack and you haven't played the original Nier, like Chris and I, yeah, you'll love it just as much. But yeah, luckily I haven't had much spoiled for me on the game. I have kind of I'm past the halfway point with kind of the main story that I do know because there's been some pretty significant events that have happened in the last couple of hours. But having a lot of fun with that. We'll probably finish it up within the next week or so, and yeah, I know there's 5 endings total, 4 from the original game, and they added an ending E for this game. I've heard to get the endings, it's kind of a pain. So I need to do some research on those. I know like you have to unlock them in order, and one of them you have to get like all 33 weapons in the game to unlock one of them. So like again, it's kind of that 2010 philosophy of kind of padding out game time sort of thing. So
Let me know if there's anything I need to be aware of. Like I know about the weapons, but just
yeah, that's the
I don't
only
want to
one I
miss
know about.
anything.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to get all these endings.
yeah. I don't think you can like miss anything and screw over your save file. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. Um, and yeah, I just played more Avengers. Weekly resets tomorrow, so we'll jump back in at that point. And yeah, just find myself playing a lot more games recently, and I don't have anything coming up that I'm super pumped about. Like I'm not gonna play Resident Evil Village, which is kind of the big one for this month. So I'm gonna keep finding
Not
games
trying
that
to get
I,
spooked.
no, I'm not. I'm never trying to get spooked, but
That's not his game.
that's not my game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to finding more games like Tell Me Why that I missed out on to come back and play because right now, well, this doesn't help because right now most of the games I've played this year have been not from this year, which isn't helping me toward the end of the year this year. So I do need to find some current games to play. I have Nausea, that Danganronpa type of visual novel for Switch that I need to start at some point. Uh, but right now the focus is definitely near with MLB on the side for when I just want to have some fun, just pitching, you know. So that is what I've been playing. You want to jump in that?
Hello. I thought we were picking up our switches, so I was
No,
like, I'll pick my
I
switch up.
just remembered because I was thinking about Bravely Default. I was like, oh shit, my expedition. I did that like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I've been playing quite a few games myself. I recently picked this up.
Pick what up?
Ring Fit
Adventure
Adventure.
for our audio listeners. Yeah.
I thought that was going to get a more excited reaction, and it actually fell quiet. So, I guess that's it. That's my time for tonight.
I'm coping with the fact I think I have Joy-Con drift.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it last week, so it's still going well.
Yeah. The thing with it, I would try first. There's a little like kind of skirt, if you would say, of silicone that goes over the ball of the analog stick. I would get alcohol and a Q-tip and wipe under it because I thought I had those on my nice fancy neon Joy-Cons, which I bought because my old pair had it. And once I did that, they no longer drift. So I would suggest that. I think thing that causes it is like the dust getting in the laser or whatever.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, like replacement joysticks are like $6, and I took my Joy-Cons apart, and they're super easy to take apart and put back together.
I mean, I don't really use the Joy-Cons. It's just when I'm trying to go down one option, and it's like, hey, how about we just cycle for 5 minutes? I'm like, could you not?
Yeah, it might help in the short term to just pop off the Joy-Con and pop it back on. It might reset it.
Yeah, I would say if you want a quick fix that's a little bit more permanent, if you don't have Joy-Con drift, but it's probably likely you do because I'm assuming those are your only pair of Joy-Cons or the original one.
That's the thing. I don't use them though.
Don't matter.
So yeah, I would try the alcohol wiping under the silicone skirt or whatever it is.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm playing some Ring Fit Adventure. It's been cool.
Still driving Mars crazy downstairs?
Nah, he isn't. He was only barking that one time because I was kind of jumping up and down. What else have I been playing? I've been playing. Why am I drawing a blank here? Slay the Spire on my iPhone. That is maybe the best decision I've had as far as commute entertainment.
Yep.
Because Slay the Spire is a perfect game, and
I agree.
Playing it on the phone might be the perfect way to play because you can play as much as you want. You can get a battle for really quick, and I feel like I've played so much on PC that I know what most of the cards do, so I don't have to like super like fine comb read through stuff. And even on the phone, like everything is as big as it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like it's nice sitting at the computer and playing it on this huge screen, but just the ability to take it with me and just like keep a run going on my phone is like so superior. I just need to unlock everything else again now. So
that's
the thing.
I didn't think I would like the Watcher as much as I do, but I love the Watcher in that game. It's a lot of fun.
I would say, I'm playing that. Playing some Monster Hunter. I really only played like the expedition and the tutorial, and I really haven't played much more else. But just because I've been playing in my multiplayer friend time. I've been playing Outriders with some of my friends, and they're having quite a hard time at it. I barely die in that game.
Yeah, your biggest challenge is logging on.
They fixed it. They fixed it last
week.
No,
there's another bug though. There is a current bug that is killing players from attacks that should not kill them.
Oh, nice.
So every time they fix something, they break something else. Unfortunately,
My character is broken. I haven't. I set up my characters to a way where like I have this LMG, and if as long as I'm firing it, I literally can't die because
Oh,
I regen health with lifesteal. So you know, big
That's a good
capacity
nice.
plan.
gun. I just keep shooting. I don't die.
Nice.
So that's been
Yeah,
my
it's
strat.
I
yeah.
got
I
an
can.
ability on my Devastator that it sends out these waves,
hmm
but every enemy it hits, it pulls health back to me. So I
hmm
just armor up and like I just go in, I slam, I armor up, and I cast that in a big group of enemies,
hmm
and they'll start taking me down, and then I just heal it all back, and I'm just like, you know.
hmm
Yeah,
Well,
I
actually, right
can't.
now all my guns are
I'm
pulses.
level. I think I'm level. I think I'm level 18 if I'm not mistaken, and I'm
Yeah,
at world rank 9.
I I can't wait to get the Series S from Chris so I can play Outriders.
We just got to figure out the logistics of
I
getting it to
know.
you.
Yeah, the logistics was
I've
just the
accepted your
worst.
first payment. We thank you
Yes,
for your continued on time payments.
indeed, indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
Outriders has been interesting to say the least. It was nice, even I'll deal with an in-game bug, like something not balanced right or something weird, but not being able to log in might be the most frustrating bug ever. Like I can't even, play through how shitty the game is if I can't even play it. You know what
See,
I
I
mean?
heard that they fixed that part though.
I'm saying I can log in and play, but I'm saying that was my biggest concern.
Yeah,
But now I don't care because I don't watch any of the cutscenes. I don't care about anything. I shoot shit and act like that's the main point. This game is a shooting range for me.
I don't know this game. Like I've just come to embrace the B game nature of it, and I'm just like, I want to see what they do.
I don't want to see
Mhm.
I
any.
gotta see the cutscenes because I gotta see what they do.
I don't want no cutscenes. Nothing. I don't care nothing about that. It's skip, skip everything.
I'm gonna type in the Twitch chat skip for the title.
Shouts out to Shannon Sharp. That's Shannon Sharp yelling at Skip Bayless.
Yep.
Skip.
Yep. Skip.
Yeah,
That's so true.
I'm gonna put it in
Oh,
staff chat because that's where I'm actually gonna look for it later.
good.
Yeah, those cutscenes are still terrible. I went to World War, Next Planet 2, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you would describe this, but there was a battlefield, war on another planet. Like there's this war everywhere else, but this somehow was like it seemed like it was a Call of Duty map with aliens running around it essentially. Not aliens, but like space marines running around it. I guess that's the
Mm,
better analogy there, and that
Oh,
was
on that
really
planet,
weird.
we're the aliens.
I guess yeah, but so it was weird because there were trenches and stuff, and my friends kept dying, and I just kept shooting my gun. That as long as I shoot, I don't die. So that was fun. And I have this lightning dash because I had a roll, but now I have a dash, and I just run away.
nice.
And then I,
Nice.
use my sniper rifle. I snipe 2 times and hit them with decay, and then I pull out my big LMG again, and I shoot, and I keep not dying. And I run around to save my friends, and perform my voodoo revives on them.
Yeah, I
I think
can't wait
that's
to
it.
play
Oh,
that
we
game.
played Divinity, but yeah,
Yeah, we did play Divinity.
That was
I
a
think that's all I've
okay
played.
session. We got a
It was
lot
a great.
done, but
No,
It was
no,
a
it was a great session. We killed a lot of things. It just came to a slow halt at the end.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. It
Because at the
just felt like a
beginning, we
lot of it
literally
ended up being
swiped.
way too easy.
No, we literally wiped 3 things, and
Yeah, we
while they
did.
were easy, they were fucking hard at one point. So it felt
Yeah.
satisfying, and
It's
then it
very
just
true.
felt like a slow, grind. And
We
that's not
were
even counting Riker. We
unfinished
just
business.
wiped him up. We mopped him up
Yeah,
immediately.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we all knew he was gonna
Talking
flip,
about
but
the witch, the stupid dead thing,
Mm-hmm.
and something else we killed.
that
Yeah.
big demon, the thing that was decaying everybody.
I'm saying that guy, the
Yeah,
witch, and what else did we kill?
Riker.
Riker, but I wasn't counting him in like the something
Any
that
sort of
fucked us up the
serious
first
conversation.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we were
yeah,
always gonna
Because we
kill
never had a
Riker.
chance to fight him. You know what I mean? So we
yeah,
didn't have any
We were
perspective on
yeah.
how
yeah.
strong he potentially was. Aside from him, getting mad at me for stealing stuff, we didn't really have any perspective.
Oh, and then we
Yeah.
fought those dudes at the tree.
But there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
fought the pain dealer guys.
Mm, yeah. The Pain Weavers.
Mhm.
Yeah, And then
Yeah,
we got to figure out what we're gonna do about the what's his name. We should kill him.
the advocate.
Yeah, kill him. Kill him. What good is he?
Gotcha.
We're done with his quest. What good is he to us? If
What good is
anything,
it?
killing him might get us another quest because his master
like-
might come for us.
I feel like we've lost out on so many quests by killing people, though.
Yeah, but we're done with him
For now.
I just don't see a reason to
because we
kill him.
have a
I
quest to
see
do
the
it.
quest, but I don't know what the other guy's motivation is to kill him.
Let's find out by killing
I'm not
him.
saying let's find out, but let's not just kill him. You know what I mean? He didn't do anything.
That's the only way we're gonna know.
I feel like that guy has been one of the more straightforward people in this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the advocate.
Yeah, he's just been
I
like
agree.
very cut dry, and I respect that. That's how I'm like, why do we have to kill this guy?
Because
true.
I have a quest and it's taking up space in my log.
I see that, but
then what
maybe we
should
could
do-
start a new quest by going and killing the other guy
Listen, I'm
for
just
sending us to
saying,
kill such a stand-up dude.
The fucking Pain Weavers told us to kill him. That one dude told us to
The
kill
Pain
him.
Weavers, the same guys who
trust
were
the Pain
bitch
Weavers.
for that were
I'm
clearly
just
trying to
saying.
gentrify that tree.
Which may or may not be a person.
Gentrify that tree. Typing it in. Yeah, it's if you're gonna
They
kill
were
the
like the
advocate,
Brooklyn settlers of that Nether Island. That's an inside joke. Me and my friend JP were in Bloomsburg one time, and for lack of better terms, we seen these two Caucasian people arguing. And I say Caucasian because it's like there's a certain type of like how do I say not it's arrogance. It's a certain type of arrogance these guys walked with, and it was this one guy who was like kind of distressed, and this other guy who just had like his button up polo getting out of his Mercedes and stuff, and he was like, "You can't treat me like this. I settled this neighborhood. You wouldn't have allowed to be here if I didn't settle this. There were crackers that would have robbed you each left and right." And I was like, "Whoa, this guy's a settler." So that's me and JP's favorite term to call gentrifier settlers.
That's pretty good.
Because it's
But
funny.
yeah, if you're I'm gonna sit the advocate battle out. I don't feel a need.
Yeah, I also
involved.
would like to sit this out.
You and
'cause-
So we should
Cypher
go,
can.
let's go talk to that guy again and tell him we talked to the advocate. Let's see if that's something we can do.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I want to do.
yeah.
I would rather do
What
that than just
happened.
kill him for no reason. Also, that
Yeah,
guy had
yeah.
somebody in a cage for no reason that he wouldn't really explain.
It was a demon.
Demons
How
have
did it
rights
beca-
too.
Did
Do
he
they?
turn him into a demon?
We
Like,
don't know.
But
We don't know anything about
I
that
want
guy.
to find out.
Yeah, but we do that
I'm
by
just
talking,
saying,
not killing.
we trusted the big ass troll, but we supposed to just trust this guy with the demon in a cage? Like,
So true.
He's stronger than us.
I mean, everything was stronger than us until we wiped the floor with them. This guy was probably only level 16. What, we got to level up
Nat,
one more time?
I think your mic might have bumped up.
No, I'm just speaking loud. That's why I told
No,
you.
he's
Sure,
getting
you don't.
excited.
That's why I told you before. Are you sure you want me to bump it up?
But this
4%.
is louder than 3.
He's also sitting closer to the mic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Nat, on the advocate. Let's talk to the
The
guy with the
advocate
demon in
cut,
cage and see
clean,
what his
dry.
motivations
He wanted
are.
to teach us the skill. He said, "Yo, here this is." He also said, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna keep it." He said basically this: "I'm gonna keep it funky with you. My master doesn't want me to do this, but if you become more powerful, fuck that dude. I fuck with that guy." He let his loyalty and allegiances be known. Whoever's the strongest, he's rocking with, and inevitably, we're gonna be the strongest. So
Yeah, it's just an ally for us. Yep.
I just want to kill shit.
I know.
We have killed so much.
Yeah.
And I want more.
You have.
That's
a
how we
I'm
become
pretty
the
sure
strongest.
we would have source vampirism if we didn't kill that guy outside of that first town standing on the hanging thing. I'm pretty sure he was the first guy that was supposed to teach us source
That was
vampirism.
Tony's fault.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm just saying we should stop killing shit for no reason.
Well, no, but remember he lit them on fire.
No, I remember.
That's the problem.
but
Is he's got to stop lighting
in
people
looking
on fire.
back in after we stopped playing yesterday, I'm pretty sure he was the guy who was supposed to teach us source vampirism.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is because nobody lets Ross talk to anybody, and then they get in a conversation, and they're like, "Uh-oh, I can't get out." Classic
Cypher-
Tony maneuver. Uh-oh, I can't get out of this one. Well, boys, we're gonna fight him.
let's be real here. Tony is a problem.
I was gonna say sidebar. Like when I talk to people, it's like I feel like I give it clear warning. Yo, this guy is. I rarely speak to people aside from with the sole fact of trading.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
most
but I'm
times
just
when I'm
saying,
trading, I try to leave. And this guy, like, I was trying to trade with him, and he was just trying to speak to me. So I was like, okay, let's see where
I'm
this
just saying,
goes.
you and Ross are the most likely to get in a conversation with somebody, and then Tony usually does it if he runs off on his own, and that's how he got in that fight last night. So all I'm saying is either get your goddamn persuasion up, or if you see somebody, tell Ross. Because he's got the silver tongue. Ross needs to talk to these people because he's talking demons out of fighting us.
Here's the thing is, if I felt like it was gonna be a fight, literally my persuasion is low, but my bribe and stuff is high because I have the barter thing. I could literally buy my way out of every conversation. It's 20 gold most times. I can afford it in spades.
Well, yeah,
but it's just like
then do that.
But like, I didn't start any fights out of conversation. I started one fight.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying because like there are times where we get people like in a conversation with an important character and like it's not Ross talking to them, and then we're selling shit to him for 15 minutes, and I'm just like, yo, I want to fucking go do something. Because I don't have anything to do in that scenario except fucking jump around.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all kind of have that. Like, it's the same when you're like stealing it from an entire village.
Everybody is standing there, looking around.
Yeah, but the whole time I'm stealing, not selling to one person.
No, I literally am not selling in those points. I'm literally holding somebody and I'm on my phone or I'm watching the Nick game on the next screen or something because I'm like, I can't do anything. There's some times where I'm selling stuff
to have people face different ways.
And it's more times it's me trying to figure out what weighs the most because I have so much stuff. And this is not even like an active choice now. I literally stopped picking stuff up except for valuable stuff, and I still have too much fucking stuff.
I've just been giving everything to Ross now. He didn't even notice.
I have too, and have you seen Ross's inventory?
It's pretty jam packed. It's got
2/3 were paintings.
He's a fucking walking, talking art gallery.
Oh my god! There were how could such a small man?
Also, how can we hate the Advocate when he literally bought all those paintings for us for no fucking reason?
It's not even that. I'm just fucking like the one thing that fucking annoys me is just like we fucking get the wrong people talking to the people at the wrong time, and then we get in a fight with like a fucking troll that was like talking to us. Like that's the shit that upsets me. Is like fine, we don't want to fight the Advocate, fine, but then it's like I feel like every scenario where I'm like, hey, I want to fucking hear what this guy has to say, somebody fucking struts on up.
Well, I agree because I can see
somebody fucking struts on up.
Well, you're not saying somebody, you're saying Cypher struts on up because literally the only time I get in fights with NPCs is because you stole something and they come and press me and like, oh, you have something else stolen from my third cousin 8 towns over. And then we fight them because they press me. I'm not trying to fight them, but they're like, oh yeah, you had something stolen.
I'm not getting caught.
Stop sending me stolen shit. I can buy it is what I'm saying.
I don't send anybody anything. You have stolen shit equipped. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have that shit.
How did I get the stolen shit?
Because I stole it.
Exactly. I could have bought it.
Not all the time.
I could have bought it. Okay, from future reference, anything for me, don't steal it. I'll go buy it.
That's all I have. That's my identity.
So then don't tell me. Don't get caught then.
Well, alternatively, don't.
What am I supposed to do?
I have a solution. I have a solution. Nat will buy anything for him, any of his gear that he wants. Any other stolen stuff sits on me because I can talk my way out of anything. So that's the way we're doing this moving forward. Tony is the problem because he literally just is like, oh, for that troll thing, no remorse. He's like, oh man, sorry. He's like, well, I guess, nope, I'm going to kill him now. It's like, he doesn't care. That's the problem. Tony doesn't care. That's a title. I'm putting
you know what alternatively is another problem? The fact that nobody talks about it, but Tony's fire does absolutely nothing. It's me coming in with my sweeper bow and shooting 8 people.
It does more to us than it does to
anything
else.
It's true.
It literally does nothing.
And now he can start to do like Necrofire stuff. No,
Necrofire will help, hopefully. Because that'll do more damage to enemies.
but it will also do more damage to us.
Don't get hit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me
Literally,
just
that's
put that on
why
my to-do
I'm
list from the
far
past
as
20
fuck.
hours.
He's
I'm
been
gonna.
getting better.
I'm trying to focus beeline getting source vampirism so I can always have that stupid Hawkeye thing, and I'm gonna get glass cannon. I'm gonna shoot everybody from 2 towns over, so I don't have to be in anybody's shenanigans. I can't get caught. I can't fumble a conversation. Nothing if I'm 2 towns over shooting people.
Cypher
Listen,
literally.
fine. Listen, if we want to fucking buy everything, fine. But like,
I'm not saying buy anything.
I
I would
no,
literally
but
just
I'm
buy
just
my
saying,
stuff.
I have all this shit invested in thievery. Like that's my thing.
Yes, I also have all this shit invested in barter, but then you completely invalidized my whole shit. And I was like, okay,
The thing is because I steal it, and then you sell it back to them.
but I can't sell it back to them because now you're stealing their money before I can even sell it to them.
That has happened.
Now it is
I've
literally
been
happened
trying
for the
to
past
steal
4
stuff
towns.
before money. I
And I'm
try
saying,
to steal stuff.
fine. I'm saying all of that is fine. I'm not asking you to change any of that. I'm saying, don't tell me not to get caught because I could literally buy it. Just let me go buy my shit, and I will never have a problem ever again. You will never have no complaints about me if I can buy it myself.
I gotta just go fucking back.
I literally
and
have
refund the thievery then, I guess, 'cause I don't know-
$20,000 on with 20,000 gold on my character.
I just don't know what the fuck else to do because, like, that's the thing. If I'm not stealing, I just fucking don't do anything.
Literally, Chris, listen to what we're saying. You still steal stuff for everyone else except for Nat.
No, but the problem is yeah, we could just buy it. I get it, but that's the thing
No,
is if we
just his gear.
But regardless, listen. I'm sitting on like 90,000 fucking gold. Like,
we all are.
I have a fucking mountain of gold that I sit
Between
on.
all of us,
Like,
I'm pretty sure we have 250,000 gold.
we could go fucking buy the fucking island we started the game on. Like, we could just buy Fort Joy and just be done with this. But like, the thing is like, if I'm not, like, listen, I get it because we can buy everything. I can buy anything because somehow I got bartering and now I can buy shit. And like, people will sell me, give me more for my shit and like, whatever. I've started just buying stuff. But that's the thing. It's like, I want to steal shit. But there's no scenario where it's no, but stop. What I'm saying is there's no scenario where it's valuable for me to steal anything right now other than for the fun of stealing it.
No,
yes. So still have fun stealing it just for everyone except Nat.
I'm saying,
but the thing is if anybody equips anything stolen, they're going to get caught. That's the
except
thing.
For me.
He's not getting caught.
Listen, if
Cypher doesn't matter because he's going to burn everything anyway.
No, if I give Nat a crossbow that I stole, and Nat equips that crossbow, and we go 3 towns over, and somebody is perceptive enough to be like, "Hey, that crossbow was stolen," he still gets caught. That's the problem.
That's what we're saying. And Nat will buy his own stuff, so he won't have that problem.
But it doesn't help if it's something that I steal from somebody else.
Yeah.
You can only steal stuff that's for sale. I can go buy it.
I can steal shit from fucking anywhere.
That's what we're saying.
I could go in a chest and fucking steal something. It
that's
doesn't
what I'm
have
saying.
to be on a
You can still steal for the fun of it. And I will hold the stolen stuff so then no one gets caught.
But what I'm saying is if we're in a fucking village and I go into the back of the bar and I fucking pick the lock on a chest and I steal a crossbow and this crossbow
he will
is
buy
good
a crossbow, yeah.
No, he can't buy it because I stole it from something else. It's not on a person. Not everything I steal comes from people.
No, I get
I'm
what
stealing
you're saying.
from fucking red marked chests all the time. I broke into that dude's house and stole a bunch of shit. That stuff is still stolen. Anything on him that is stolen, whether it comes from a person he can buy it from or not, is still stolen. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Regardless, if something is good, he's going to have something stolen on his person if we cannot buy it from a vendor.
I have nothing stolen on me because that last time now you said it and I said, okay, cleaned out my inventory, equipped nothing but stuff I bought. I'm saying
but that's what I'm saying. We can't
equip anything stolen.
No, but if I can steal a better fucking crossbow for you, you should use it. That's the whole point. So that's the thing. Either we got it. Like that's the thing. Is either I'm stealing shit or I'm not. I'm either gonna steal shit or I'm gonna refund all those points and I'm gonna fucking put them into survivability.
I think you're going all in either way. You just steal shit for you, Cypher, and me.
I'm saying my stuff, like the differences in bows, like you're gonna find, there's gonna be a marginal difference, like because literally the past 7 bows people are getting. I've had the strongest bow I can get for the past 3 playthroughs so far. And I'm saying, like,
Right, but I'm just
it's
saying, whether it's a
mostly
bow or not,
armor and not
but if it's
bows.
armor, but if it's armor and I find a better piece of armor for you, if it's a huge improvement over your armor, you're not going to equip it because it's stolen?
He's a glass cannon anyway. The
My
armor is
armor,
not going
my
to make a difference
armor.
for him.
I don't
How,
need fancy. I need modifiers, not
yeah,
actual
but that's
value.
what I'm saying. If it's got the shit you need on it, like, we can't afford to not have you equip better shit just because it's stolen.
Well, what I'm saying is, because I'm in a specific zone where my stuff, my armor, doesn't necessarily cost a lot because I am just after modifiers and
No,
not.
I get that, but like, what you're not understanding is if I go in a fucking wardrobe and I steal fucking legs that have like +3 huntsman and +2 warfare or whatever, and that's a noticeable improvement for you, it's still stolen.
But what I'm saying is, yes, it's still stolen, but everything that I can buy has those modifiers. Like, we haven't come across anything that, like, modifier wise, most of the time it's raw value and the rarity will be up and it will have a slot for a rune or something. But just off of strictly modifiers, most times you get the best modifiers from a shop. At least from how we've been playing till this point, is all I'm saying.
I'm just saying. Then there's no purpose in me stealing anything then at this point. If we're just gonna, if we can just buy the best stuff, there's no point in having me being able to steal anything. There's no value if we can just buy it all.
No, you could literally steal everything. I'm just saying
but that's not the point, because we have all the money. We have all this money. I'm stealing because it's fun, but like, if there's no point in me stealing it just to get more. What am I going to do? Get more money? Like, there's no point. If we could just buy everything, then we buy everything, and I just need to reset my skills. That's it. That's the long and short of it. If we can just buy all the best gear, there is no reason for me to be stealing.
I mean, unless you're having fun stealing.
Well, yeah, but if everybody doesn't want to wait around for me to steal, then there's no point.
Man, you can do whatever you want, man. Whatever is the most fun.
Yeah, but it's not accomplishing anything.
I mean, if you want to get big picture about this, we're playing a video game. We're not accomplishing anything.
Don't start with that shit. Don't start with that. We are accomplishing friendship time. That is the greatest treasure of all. But no, I'm not even like trying to come at it from like a place of hate, but it's just being realistic. Is like, if it's going to be a situation where it's like, okay, you know, we're just going to buy all of our gear, then I should not be stealing. I should just go and respec my points.
I think
because then that just changes my build, and now I can focus everything on just doing damage.
I think the problem is we're not looking at this from where we started. We're looking at this from a new perspective. And where we started was, you told me not to get caught with stolen goods. I'm saying,
but that's the point. It's like, if I steal something that's better for you, regardless, I don't care if you can buy something. If I steal something that is better than what you can buy, then you would have to either make the conscious decision to not equip this better item, or you have to equip it and then be aware that I'm going to be stealing from people, and you're going to get caught because you're there, whether you're talking to somebody, whether you're doing something else, somebody's going to walk up to you and be like, let me look at your shit.
And I'm saying, yes, that's fine, but you can't get mad at me if somebody starts getting in a fight with me because of me having something stolen on me, because I don't have the checks to get through that.
I'm just saying, if I'm stealing, don't be near people.
But here's the thing: is I'm not. Normally, what happens is I'm holding a view for somebody, and then you stop, and I'm the person they beeline for.
Yeah, but
it's not
what
one
I'm
of those
saying
things
is when I say I'm done, like, what I'm saying is, don't keep holding them. Just fucking leave. Once I'm done stealing from the person,
it hasn't been because I wanted to stay there. It's literally they beeline for me, and I'm booking it, and they stop me. It's not one of those things where I'm trying to get caught. Like, ideally, I would never be seen.
See, I just fucking cloak and dagger out. Like, that's the first thing I do is cloak and dagger, and then I book it. Like, I just fucking run.
And most of the time, I feel like Nat's in the middle of it because he's selling all the shit that we just stole. So like he's already in the area anyway.
And 75% of the time, it's not a problem because they don't have the perception enough to realize what we have from the next town is stolen. Literally, it's been 2 times somebody has pressed me about, oh, I've had something stolen from another town.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
I was looking
But then
for an
that's
item.
but again, that's the thing. Is like if
I'm
we
saying if this has happened
if we don't want to deal
20
with that,
times,
then I need to stop stealing.
No, but what I'm saying is you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater because I'm saying literally it's 18 times we've been good and 2 times it's been bad.
But it's gonna keep. But it's the 2 most recent. They're gonna, as enemies get stronger, as people get higher level, they're gonna get more perceptive. They're gonna notice that stuff. So that's why I'm saying it's more and more likely to happen the further we go into the game and we start getting involved with higher level characters. So again, if we just don't want to deal with it, then I need to not be stealing. You're looking at me. I'm trying to make the responsible decision here. Because I'm going to keep, if we're not going to do that, I'm going to keep stealing. But like right now, I just don't fucking see the value in it. Because every time I steal, we either don't sell it or it's just worthless. And then, you know, Nat's got a full inventory for 6 towns because I'm just really good at stealing. I'm really good.
Yeah.
I'm really good. That's what I'm saying. It's just if you don't want me to steal any, like if it's a situation where it's not worth me stealing anymore, then I should respec my character to do more damage or something. Because I have a lot of points into thievery. I have like 7 points in thievery right now. Or I just stop investing in it. I don't know. I just that's all I'm saying is like I am invested in that, but I don't have to be.
We'll see. We'll see what Trouble Tony has to say about it when we play. Get his opinion. But yeah,
Like you guys are coming at me like I'm just offering to not steal anymore. Don't look at me like that.
no, I'm saying, I'm just saying, I'm fine with you stealing.
I mean,
Like, I'm fine with
it
it.
doesn't seem worth it anymore. Though I'm not having as much fun stealing because I'm not doing anything with it. But I just hate the idea of if I give it up. Like the thing is like I'll give it up and I'll do more damage in fights or maybe survive more. But I hate the idea of like if we get in a situation where it's like, oh hey, here's this fucking, you know, stuff. Oh, there's this person who won't sell stuff, but they got something good on them, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it.
Ultimately, it comes down to what you want to do. And
I'm just saying, everybody's going to have stolen shit on them, and someone is going to notice. And the only person who can talk their way out of it is Ross. Because he can talk himself out of fucking anything. He could be in jail. He'd convince the guard that he's actually out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the guard. Oh, shit. My bad. Here's the keys. I'll get in.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Ross gets on a boat and says, I'm the captain now. And they're just like, when did this happen?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I forgot about that.
Ally.
That was the best one yet. I feel like that's a good place to end it.
Oh, okay.
Or, Chris, you haven't even talked about your games.
No, I'm gonna go cry. I'm Commander Shepard. This is the saddest place on the city.
Chris, you want to talk about what you've been playing?
I haven't been stealing in Divinity. I have also been playing Nier. Today I fought Riven of 1,000 Orifices, and that was fun. I've found that just like it looked like you were giving me like the weirdest smirk for a second, but it might have just been your camera. I was
just sitting here.
I was hoping to get something out of you with that one. But yeah,
I don't want to step on a landmine, man. I'm just sitting here. We weren't reaching a conclusion, so I said, "Oh, let me just shut up." See, I stepped on another landmine. I should have just shut up.
So
Yeah.
Oh,
So otherwise, I played Apex. I played the new 3v3 mode. I'm currently undefeated. Spitfire is a really good gun. I like the arenas, not as much as the battle royale, but they're fun to just kind of get in there, shoot some people. They're bigger than I expected, which is both good and bad. Um, but it's fun. I had a good time. My boy Mirage undefeated. But
nice.
yeah, and then just been playing Destiny, running GMs. Um, they showed the new season of the Splicer, which looks really cool. I'm very excited for that next week. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got.
Nice.
Yeah. So that seems like an episode.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us this week, as always.
Later.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a good
My
one.
bad.
Bye bye.
Later.